dive into today's episode, I just want to remind you to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world to us. It helps us grow, reach more amazing learners like you, and keep bringing you fresh and fun content every week. So don't forget, like, subscribe, and let's keep this journey going strong. Hello there, our absolutely wonderful global community of language learners. A huge warm welcome back to another episode of Idiom Insights. I'm Emma, your companion on this journey through the vibrant landscape of English expressions. It's always a delight to connect with you and share these linguistic discoveries. Thank you for being here.
And a massive, cheerful hello from me too. It's Jack, your co-pilot for today's idiomatic expedition, ready and eager to explore 4 more phrases that add richness and nuance to everyday communication. Welcome back to Idiom Insights. Emma, today's selection feels very rooted in practical life, doesn't it? We're covering polite refusals, hidden complexities, uncomfortable silences, and breaking points. It's amazing how these common scenarios have generated such specific, evocative phrases.
It truly is amazing, Jack. They act as such useful shorthand for quite complex social and psychological situations. Understanding idioms like the ones today, about postponing plans gracefully, recognizing where difficulty lies, acknowledging awkward truths, or failing to, and reaching one's absolute limit, helps learners navigate conversations with much greater sensitivity and understanding. It's about perceiving the unspoken request in a refusal, the warning in a phrase about details, the tension in silence, or the built-up pressure behind a final reaction. It elevates communication beyond the purely functional.
Couldn't agree more. It's about reading the room, understanding the subtext. So let's get ready to read the subtext of today's idioms. On this episode of Idiom Insights, brimming with useful vocabulary, we are going to meticulously examine these 4 highly relevant expressions. First, politely declining for now. Take a rain check. Where does this come from? And how does it soften a no? Next, warning about hidden problems. The devil is in the details. Why is the devil associated with specifics? Then the big unmentionable issue, the elephant in the room, a phrase that perfectly captures awkward avoidance. And finally, reaching the breaking point, the last straw, that final tiny weight that proves too much.
A truly fantastic and relatable set of idioms, Jack. These are definitely phrases you will hear and can use in many different contexts. Before we explore the polite postponement offered by taking a rain check, we'd just like to share that quick, friendly reminder from your dedicated Idiom Insights hosts. If you're enjoying these discussions and find them helpful for your English progress, please do consider hitting that subscribe or follow button on your podcast app. It's the simplest way to ensure you never miss our linguistic explorations.
Absolutely. Please do subscribe. And while you're there, if you feel like giving us a like or leaving a positive rating, that gives us a tremendous boost. It genuinely helps other enthusiastic learners discover idiom insights and validates the effort we put into making these episodes informative and engaging. Okay, community announcements complete. Emma, let's talk about take a rain check. It sounds weather-related, but it's used much more broadly, isn't it? Tell us about its origin and meaning.
You're right, Jack. The origin is weather-related, specifically from American baseball. In the 19th century, if a baseball game was postponed or canceled due to rain after it had started, attendees were often given a voucher, a rain check, allowing them to attend a future game for free. So idiomatically, to take a rain check on an offer or invitation means to politely refuse it for the present time, while implying or explicitly stating that you would like to accept it at a later, often unspecified date. It's a way of saying, no thank you, not now, but maybe another time.
Ah, the baseball connection. That makes perfect sense. A voucher for future attendance. So it's fundamentally a polite refusal mechanism. It softens the rejection because it includes that suggestion of future acceptance, even if that future date is never actually set. It avoids a blunt no, which can sometimes feel socially awkward or potentially hurtful. You might use it if a friend invites you for coffee, but you're too busy. Oh, I'd love to, but I'm swamped today. Can I take a rain check? It leaves the door open and maintains goodwill. It's quite a useful social tool, isn't it? Managing invitations graciously.
Incredibly useful, Jack. It allows you to decline without necessarily closing off future possibilities or seeming completely uninterested. It acknowledges the kindness of the invitation while explaining your current inability to accept. Of course, it can sometimes be used slightly disingenuously. Someone might take a rain check on an invitation they never actually intend to accept, just as a very polite way of saying no permanently. But usually, the implication is a genuine, though perhaps vague, intention to reschedule or accept later. The key function is the polite decline combined with the suggestion of future possibility.
That distinction between genuine future intent and simply ultra-polite refusal is important. Context and tone often give clues. Let's hear how Mia and Mark navigate this. Who is politely declining an invitation for now?
Mark, good news. I managed to get us 2 tickets for that new play downtown this Friday night. You know, the one that's been getting rave reviews and is almost sold out? My colleague had spare tickets and offered them to me.
This Friday? Wow, Mia, that's fantastic. Getting tickets for that show is really difficult. That's brilliant. Oh, hang on. This Friday? Oh, dear.
What's wrong? Don't you want to go? I thought you were keen to see it too.
I am keen. I absolutely want to see it. But Mia, I completely forgot. This Friday evening is the annual dinner for my department at work. It's kind of a mandatory attendance thing, especially this year as the CEO is coming. There's no way I can get out of it now.
Oh no, the work dinner. I forgot about that too. That's such bad timing. So you definitely can't make the play this Friday?
I definitely can't, I'm afraid. I'm really gutted. I was desperate to see that play. But the work dinner is unavoidable. Thank you so much for getting the tickets, though. That was amazing of you. Look, could we perhaps take a rain check on the theater trip? Maybe we could try and book tickets ourselves for a different night in a few weeks' time. I'd still love to go with you.
Okay, that's a shame about Friday, but yes, of course. Let's definitely take a rain check and find another night soon. I'll see if my colleague wants the tickets back or maybe offer them to Sarah. Don't worry about it.
That's a perfect example of the idiom used genuinely. Mark clearly wants to go to the play, but has a prior, unavoidable commitment.
Exactly. He expresses his enthusiasm for the invitation, but politely declines for this specific time due to the clash. His use of take a rain check softens the refusal and clearly indicates his genuine desire to go at a future date, which Mia accepts. It perfectly illustrates the polite postponement function. Listeners, when was the last time you had to take a rain check on something fun?
Now, from polite refusals, let's delve into hidden complexities. Our second idiom is the cautionary phrase, "The devil is in the details." Jack, this suggests that small things can cause big problems. Why invoke the devil, though?
That's a fascinating question, Emma. Invoking the devil here emphasizes the troublesome, problematic, or negative nature of these hidden details. It suggests that seemingly minor points, often overlooked in the initial planning or agreement phase, are precisely where the difficulties, disagreements, costly errors, or reasons for failure often lie hidden. The idiom warns that while the overall plan or idea might seem simple and attractive, its success depends crucially on meticulous attention to the small print, the specific implementation steps, the precise wording, the details, because that's where unforeseen problems, the devil, often lurk, ready to derail everything.
So it's a strong warning against superficiality and overlooking specifics. It advises thoroughness and careful examination. It implies that true understanding or successful execution requires going beyond the appealing surface or the grand vision and really grappling with the complexities hidden within the specifics. You might hear it used when discussing contracts. The main terms look okay, but remember, the devil is in the details, so let's read the fine print very carefully. Or when planning a complex event, the overall concept is great, but coordinating the logistics will be tricky. The devil is in the details. It highlights where the real challenges often reside.
Precisely. It directs attention to where the potential pitfalls are most likely to be found. It's a caution against optimism based solely on the big picture. It reminds us that smooth execution depends on getting the small things right. A seemingly simple software update could cause chaos if one tiny detail in the code is wrong. A peace agreement might look good on paper but fail if the specific details of implementation are flawed or ambiguous. The phrase really underscores the critical importance of meticulousness and the potential for seemingly minor elements to have major negative consequences. It's a call for due diligence.
Due diligence is a perfect way to think about it. Let's hear Mia and Mark discussing a plan. Where might the hidden problems lie?
Mark, I've been looking at the plans for converting our attic space into a proper home office. The basic idea seems quite straightforward. Put in a better staircase, add insulation, install a skylight window, put down some flooring. It looks achievable.
On the surface, yes. Converting the attic sounds like a great idea, Mia. Having a dedicated office space would be fantastic. But converting attics isn't always as simple as it looks. We need to be careful.
What do you mean? What could be complicated? It seems like just adding a few standard elements.
Well, for a start, there are building regulations we'd need to check very carefully. Things like minimum head height requirements, fire safety regulations for escape routes, the structural integrity of the existing floor joists. Can they even support the weight of an office? Then there's the insulation. Getting the right type and meeting the required energy efficiency standards can be tricky. And plumbing or electrics, running new cables or pipes up there, might be more complex than we think.
Oh, right. I hadn't really thought about all those specific regulations and structural issues. I was just picturing the finished room.
Exactly. The basic idea is appealing, but the devil is in the details with these kinds of projects. Forgetting one small regulation or underestimating one structural issue could lead to major problems or unexpected costs down the line. We need to research all those specifics very carefully before we even think about starting.
You're absolutely right. It sounded simple initially, but clearly the devil is in the details. Okay, step 1. Research building regulations.
That conversation clearly illustrates the idiom's warning. The overall idea, attic conversion, seems appealing and simple to Mia initially.
Yes, but Mark points out numerous specific potential complications hidden within the details: regulations, structure, utilities. He uses "the devil is in the details" twice to emphasize that these seemingly minor specifics are where the real challenges and potential failures lie, requiring careful prior investigation. It perfectly shows the idiom cautioning against overlooking complexities. Listeners of Idiom Insights, can you share an example where the devil was truly in the details?
Now, let's move from hidden details to very obvious yet ignored issues. Our third idiom creates a powerful image: the elephant in the room. Emma, what does this large, unmissable animal represent?
It represents exactly that, Jack. Something huge, obvious, and impossible to truly ignore. Yet something that everyone present is deliberately not talking about. The elephant in the room refers to a major problem, a controversial topic, a significant source of tension, or an awkward truth that is clearly present and on everyone's mind, but which nobody mentions or addresses directly because it is embarrassing, uncomfortable, politically sensitive, or likely to cause conflict. The silence surrounding this obvious issue creates a palpable tension.
That palpable tension created by collective avoidance is key, isn't it? The elephant is there, everyone sees it, everyone knows everyone else sees it. But there's an unspoken mutual agreement not to acknowledge it. This pretense of normality while ignoring a massive, unavoidable issue is what makes the situation so awkward and strained. It could be a family gathering after a major, unresolved argument. Everyone talks politely about trivialities, while the huge argument remains the elephant in the room, or a business meeting discussing minor operational details while completely ignoring the fact that the company just lost its biggest client. That huge loss is the elephant in the room.
Exactly. It's that shared awareness combined with shared avoidance that defines it. The reason for avoidance can vary: politeness, fear, denial, embarrassment. But the result is the same: a significant issue hovering over the conversation, making genuine communication strained or impossible. Sometimes, someone brave might finally decide to address the elephant in the room, which can be cathartic but also potentially explosive, breaking the fragile, unspoken truce. The phrase itself highlights the absurdity and discomfort of collectively ignoring something so significant and obvious.
The absurdity of ignoring something so large. That's a great way to think about it. Let's hear Mia and Mark describe a situation burdened by such an unacknowledged issue.
Mark, that team meeting this afternoon was one of the most awkward I've ever sat through. Did you feel that weird tension in the air?
Awkward? It was excruciatingly uncomfortable, Mia. Everyone was talking in really forced, cheerful tones about minor project updates and deadlines, but nobody once mentioned the huge news that we all found out about this morning.
Exactly. The fact that our main competitor just launched a product almost identical to the one we've been secretly developing for the past year, but theirs is cheaper and already on the market. It basically makes our entire project potentially redundant.
Precisely. That news was clearly on everyone's mind. You could see people exchanging worried glances, fidgeting, but did the manager mention it? Did anyone ask how it impacts our project? No, we spent an hour discussing font choices for the user manual instead.
I know, it was completely bizarre. The competitor's launch was the massive, unavoidable elephant in the room. Everyone knew it was the single most important issue affecting our team right now, but nobody dared to actually bring it up. The silence around it was deafening.
Utterly deafening. Pretending it wasn't happening while discussing trivialities felt ridiculous. Someone needed to address the elephant in the room, but nobody did. I wonder what happens next.
That scenario perfectly captures the uncomfortable dynamic. A major worrying issue, the competitor's launch, is known to everyone but deliberately ignored during the meeting.
Absolutely. Mia identifies the competitor's launch as the elephant in the room, and Mark agrees, highlighting the absurdity and tension created by collectively avoiding this huge, obvious problem while focusing on trivialities. It vividly illustrates the idiom's meaning. Listeners, why do you think people avoid addressing the elephant in the room?
And finally, let's explore the concept of reaching a breaking point. Our fourth idiom is the last straw, often part of the longer proverb, the straw that broke the camel's back. Jack, what does this signify?
This idiom, Emma, signifies the precise moment when patience runs out, when endurance fails. The last straw refers to the final, often minor, problem, annoyance, or incident in a series of accumulating difficulties that makes a situation completely unbearable and causes a person to finally lose their temper, give up, resign, or take decisive action. While the last straw itself might seem insignificant, its impact is huge because it comes on top of all the previous burdens, like adding one final straw to a camel already overloaded. It's the trigger, the breaking point.
The breaking point after cumulative stress. That's exactly it. The focus isn't really on the final incident itself, but on the fact that it was the final one, the one that tipped the balance after a period of tolerance or endurance. For example, someone might put up with consistently poor service at a restaurant, slow waiters one time, cold food another time, incorrect orders the next. Then, on their next visit, a very minor issue occurs, like getting the wrong drink. That minor error might be the last straw, causing them to finally complain loudly or vow never to return. The reaction is to the accumulation of problems triggered by the final, small one.
Exactly. The reaction often seems disproportionate to the final straw itself, but it's entirely proportionate to the total burden. It could be someone enduring increasing workload and stress at their job for months. Then, their boss makes one more small, unreasonable request, and that becomes the last straw. They finally resign or have a major confrontation. Or in a relationship, perhaps minor annoyances and disagreements build up over time, and then one more seemingly trivial incident becomes the last straw, leading to a major argument or breakup. It's that final catalyst that makes the previously tolerated situation intolerable.
The final catalyst making the situation intolerable. That sums it up perfectly. Let's hear Mia and Mark's final dialogue. Who reaches their breaking point? And what was the final trigger?
Oh, Mark, I've had the most frustrating morning trying to get my computer to work properly. It's been playing up for weeks, hasn't it?
Yes, it's been getting progressively slower, crashing occasionally, making those weird, whirring noises. You've been very patient with it, trying all those troubleshooting tips online.
Exactly. I've updated the software, deleted old files, run virus scans, cleared the cache. I've spent hours trying to fix it, or at least keep it limping along because getting a new one is so expensive right now. It's been incredibly annoying, but I've just been trying to cope.
So what happened this morning that was different? Did it finally crash completely?
Worse, it was being incredibly slow as usual, taking ages to open a simple document. I was already feeling frustrated, but I was managing. Then I needed to quickly print one page. I clicked print, waited ages, and then the printer dialog box popped up with an error message. Cannot communicate with printer.
Oh no, the printer connection failed as well, just when you needed it.
Yes, after weeks of putting up with the slowness and the crashing, that completely trivial printer error this morning. Mark, that was the last straw. I just snapped. I completely lost my patience. I've decided I cannot waste another minute on this useless machine. I'm going out this afternoon to buy a new computer, even if it means dipping into our savings. That printer error was the last straw.
You can really hear Mia's built-up frustration reaching its peak. The computer had numerous pre-existing problems that she had been tolerating.
Precisely. But the final, relatively minor issue of the printer connection failing became the last straw. She explicitly identifies it as the breaking point that made her decide she couldn't endure the situation any longer and prompted decisive action, buying a new computer. It perfectly illustrates the idiom of a final trigger after cumulative frustration. Listeners of Idiom Insights, have you ever had a last straw moment?
And with that exploration of breaking points, we conclude another episode of Idiom Insights. 4 more really useful and expressive idioms examined in detail. Let's quickly recap them.
It's been a truly insightful discussion. Today on Idiom Insights, we explored take a rain check, to politely decline an offer now, but suggest accepting it later. The devil is in the details. Minor, overlooked specifics often hide major problems or complexities. The elephant in the room, an obvious major problem or issue that everyone ignores because it's uncomfortable. The last straw, the final incident in a series that makes a situation unbearable. The breaking point.
Excellent summary. We sincerely hope that our expanded discussions today, delving deeper into the meanings, origins, nuances, and applications, have helped you gain a really solid and practical understanding of these common English idioms. Remember, using them well comes from understanding them deeply.
Absolutely. Keep tuning your ear to how these phrases are used naturally. And if you found today's episode of Idiom Insights both helpful and engaging, we would be immensely grateful if you could take a quick moment to leave us a like, a rating, or even a brief positive review. It helps us connect with more learners.
And please ensure you are subscribed or following Idiom Insights. It's the simplest way to guarantee you join us for every new episode as we continue our fascinating journey through the intricacies of the English language together. We love sharing this with you.
We really do appreciate you being part of our community. Thank you for your time and enthusiasm today. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, stay curious, and enjoy the process. Goodbye for now.
Bye, everyone. Take care, be well, and hopefully you won't encounter any elephants in the room or last straws this week. Happy learning.